Welcome back. It's another day, obviously. And as I wanted to do in the last video, which was install the mini split, things just didn't work out in the way that I would like to have done before getting the floor down. But the floor's down. Now we get this mini split up. So this mini split is not technically a DIY mini split. It's from Mr. Cool. It's a Mr. Cool Advantage 18K. It's a third gen, not the fourth gen. Got it at a reasonable price, so I went for it from Lowe's. It's not going to be that difficult to install this thing. It just requires a little bit more effort. Normally with an Advantage system, you would probably have an HVAC guy come out and do the work because it requires vacuuming the lines. I can do that myself, thankfully. So all in all, this is going to save me a little bit of money, not necessarily save time because there's a couple extra steps that you have to go through. But one thing that I found out about these units, they do not come with a template for the mount. So instead, it requires you to mount or hang up your mount and then measure off from that to where your holes for your line set would run into. I'm not going to do all that. The thing is, when it comes to measuring stuff, I only measure if I really need to, and I try to find the easiest way to do something if I can, or if I think I might know something a little bit better. I think I might have an idea for something that might be a little bit better this time. So those cardboard cutouts for the DIY versions that you stick up on the wall, you mark everything off the location where everything's going to be mounted. So what I've gone ahead and done, I cut out a piece of the cardboard that was used for the box that was used for the mini split. And I've already gone ahead and cut a hole where the line set's going to be going through. So all I'm going to do is take the mount, place it on back to the back side of the unit, run that line set through this hole, set it up, find my holes, bring it up to the top, place it where it needs to be placed, mark the spots, and I'm done. And that way I don't have to measure anything out. I just hate having to measure stuff. So I realized something. Before I go to mark this off, I need to go ahead and wire in all the electricals for this part of the unit. This is another one of those things on the Advantage system compared to the DIY. It's not connected already. So I need to take the panel off and go ahead and wire this in right quick before I go ahead with marking this out. Okay, so it appeared the best way to run this line is to start with the end that goes to your pump. Just run it through the bottom first and just fish it all the way through until you get to the ends with the connectors that go into this section here. So here you have 1, 2, 3 and the symbol for ground. So obviously green goes to ground. Honestly, I do not know red, black, white as 1, 2, 3, which goes where. But on the opposite end, we also have the same problem. So that's another thing that is different with the Advantage compared to the DIY. The DIY cord is numbered 1, 2, 3, showing you where they need to go into the correct place. So let me find out right quick how this is supposed to be wired, and I'll be right back. So after a little digging, I found out that normally a lot of these go black, red, white. So I'm going to do the same here. 1 black, 2 red, 3 white. Green, of course, goes in the ground. Now, I'll just have to remember that when I go to work on the outside part of the unit, that I need to put it in that same order with 1, 2, 3, black 1, red 2, white 3. So here, we should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get these lined up. I tell you, that ground just doesn't want to go. I was able to wiggle jiggle the other ones in place, but this one doesn't want to do. So I'll just keep it jiggling. Okay, that part is done. No pinchy pinchy. It's all good to go. Okay, now let's get her turned over. Oops. Forgot one thing. Let's get this cover back on. So, guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this proper, but the attempt is to get this level, and I'm going for the top plate. So that is my level mark right there. I need to make sure I'm good at this end and that end. As level as I can make it. Now, my top plate should be in this area somewhere here. I have gone through to work that out. Believe it or not. So it should be in this general area here. But what I need to do is I think I need to move this over. I need a stud that is on this side. This one stud over here for one of these legs. So I'm going to do that. It's not going anywhere. It's where it needs to be, roughly above the panel. I tried to center it a little bit. Trying to make it look even. I think I did all right, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. Like I said, I'm going to go do some things, check it out, make sure everything I've got's right before I start putting holes in the wall and having to go back and patch all that over. Cause myself more work to be done. So that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow in the next part. So it's the next day. We got a little time, in a little bit of, but let's just say I'm in a little bit of a time crunch. I want to get that hole drilled in. Just let you know, last night I did check. Spot on. That hole's right where it needs to be drilled at. So good. The whole cardboard thing did exactly what it was supposed to do. But it doesn't hurt to check behind yourself just to make sure. So that's straight. I want to go ahead and get that drilled. Get that wall sleeve put in. And get this line set run through. That's all I'm going to have time for this part. I may go ahead and do the tap cons on the concrete pad that I poured back in October. Get that unit set permanently in place. One thing right quick I want to notice, these wall sleeves that the line set will be going through, the line set will be going through, are a lot smaller than maybe the DIY only versions, or much larger diameter. Because this seems pretty small, or pretty small compared to the ones that I've seen be installed. So it's going to be a nice snug fit for that sleeve. I like the sleeker look to it anyway. Just, I don't know, the smaller hole being drilled into the wall is more preferable to me than, you know, doing something real big and making an even larger mistake. But that can be fixed as well. But yeah, I'm done talking. Gonna get this done right quick. Got a lot to do today before I come back this evening, and hopefully get all the line sets installed and all the covers done outside, and we can call it done. So let's get this part done so we can get other things done. Made a little mess on the floor. That's why I wanted to do this part before installing the flooring, but I needed to get moving. Can always clean it up. So now I need to open this up to the outside, but I need to go down a little bit just so that when the bit comes out the other side, the drain will continue to drain downwards. So we need to make sure we are not quite so centered to the other side. That should be good. Perfect there. So I believe I made it out the other side that time. And I lost my bit in the wall again. But I believe it felt like I made it through the outer wall as well as the siding. So I'm gonna make a run outside and have a look. Success, made it through the siding. So I'm gonna take you with me outside. We're gonna bore this hole from the opposite side right quick, which means I also have to carry this ladder inside, well outside, then come back inside, and I think outside again. So bear with me. So I just learned something about siding. It's best to reverse your blade when you're going on your vinyl siding, or else you'll end up cracking it. But on the positive, the hole is done, but I'm going to be replacing this siding anyway, so it's not a big deal. It won't be done this year, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'll patch this up, and I won't worry about it for some time. It's not a big deal anyway, since it's all coming down. Most likely, hopefully later this year. Awesome. Good deal, we made it through. I was beginning to wonder if I drilled into something else. That is a nice fit, but my insulation is still in the way. I need something. Hopefully that'll do it. So I want to make sure you're positioned well enough to see me fail at this part. Seeing as I'll be doing this by myself. And I've seen a lot of guys do it, but it's me, you know, who knows what could happen. So this is ready. I need to start feeding the electricals through first since it's the longest. And then I'll be able to get that line set in place. And we should be able to just hook and snap and call it done. Yeah. So let's just go ahead and do that and see if I fumble. Yeah, this is a little awkward. In fact, it's a lot awkward. Make sure this drain line is actually going in, and so far it is not. Is a snug fit. Try to rest this on my shoulders. At the cost of scratching up the side of the wall. Okay, so let's get that hook there. That is hooked there. Sweet. So we're snapped in. We're snapped in. Oh, good Lord. I did scratch the wall. Can you see it from back here? Yes. Yes, you can. So I will have to go back to fix that. But it's not quite right. I think it might be the line set. Needs a decent tug on the other side. Maybe to pull everything too. Y'all stay right here and let me know. Alright, okay, so you can see that it's in, and here. For whatever reason, the mount is a little bit higher on this side than it is on this side. So it is sticking up a bit here. I don't know what the cause of it. Maybe it's just manufacturing defect. But it's up there. I am going to have to fix a scratch that I made over there. I can go back and fill this in, and I'll just paint over that, and hopefully it'll never be seen. It is what it is. I need to, wherever that cap is, it's around here somewhere. Anyway, I'll get that in just a second. It came with this clay to fill in the gaps within that sleeve through the wall. And I watched a lot of guys, because it was that larger diameter sleeve that I mentioned, they would always say that one bar that they give you is not enough. Because that thing is so small, this is going to be plenty. I'd gotten this can of foam thinking I was going to need it for all the big gaps. I'm not. I'm just going to shove all of this in there, maybe not even all of it, and it'll fill it up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right quick and get ready to place those pilot holes in that concrete base outside. And if I have time, time's actually moved along a lot further than it has. But that's up. If you don't see this at the moment, you'll see it later today when I can get back to it. So here's a quick view from the outside. You see everything went through, and I was able to stick that whole bar in there. I shoved it in every little spot that I could and placed that ring around everything. It's nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. I do feel that I need to do some caulking around that ring, and I definitely need to fill in that crack where I busted through drilling on that side. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get some things buttoned up quick out here. I'm not gonna be able to get to tapping this concrete in right yet, so that'll be done later this afternoon. So I will see you then. It'll be a jiffy for you. It'll be a few hours for me. Okay, so I'm sure you can tell by now, it's later in the day. I skipped ahead, and I've gone ahead and done a couple of things. I mounted the outside unit to its pad. I went ahead and took care of that with just 4 tap cons, pre-drilled, sunk them in, got it done. I also came back in and readjusted this mount. I found out that the leg on this side was bent out, which was the reason why this side was leaning out on this side. So I just pushed it as far back as I could, slapped it back in place, it clicked, boom, it's in. I also went around outside on that edge and put in some caulk out there, whether it's necessary or not. I haven't seen anyone else do it, but I went ahead and done it for a little bit of waterproofing anyway. It's done, it's out of the way. I also came in and caulked this area right here, which I will paint over that mistake. And the scratch that I made up there, I will also paint over, as well as the scratch on the other side. I will go back and properly paint over and fill in at another time. Right now, I want to get this done ASAP. They're calling for rain. I want to get it done yesterday. Yeah, it's got to go. It's got to get done. So now that all of that's done, I need to go ahead and get the line set straightened out and get the vac started on that. And while that is going through its vacuuming, which will probably take, it's set that you want to get it down to 500 microns, but it's better if you can get it lower than that. So I'm going to go as low as possible, as low as I can get it. Let that vac down, and while that's vacuuming out, I'll wire everything up, and I'll go ahead and bring y'all along for that. Okay, so I have everything set up for you to hopefully you'll see. I've already connected the line up at the top, but I'm going to show you this part here at the bottom. I'm going to use this Nylog Blue. It's a gasket thread and sealant. I'm going to use it to seal this up. So basically all I do is open this up. I want to get it to where it's going to seal with the flare. Doesn't take a whole lot. Just going to smooth it out a little bit. And it is kind of gooey. Some of this top one and ready to go. So yeah, like that. Just enough for that flare to be seated pretty well. So I'm going to start with this bottom one first. And I gotta say, trying to get this line set adjusted to the right place is it's a job. but it can be done. Okay, so when those threads are seated properly, you should be able to hand tighten them to a point without having to fight it. If you're having to fight it as you're threading it on, it means that you're probably cross-threading it. You probably want to try to fix that before you go any further. But I'm just going to tighten these up. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, hold on just 1 second. Got a pair of vice grips. I just want to lightly clamp down on this valve while I'm tightening this down, just so that I don't screw anything over on the inside or whatever else. You know, just a little insurance. Okay, that should be tight enough. So guess what? I spent the last few minutes trying to get things set up for my gauges, and I was getting everything connected when I got to the end here and found out that I need some kind of mini split coupling in order to connect the vacuum and my gauges. Great. So I need to look around, and hopefully there's one nearby if I have to order one. It's something else is going to have to be put off for a couple of days. So in the meantime, I'm going to install this cover kit for the lines. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. There are many other videos that can do a lot better job of showing this kind of thing, and a lot of this it's repetitive, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this up. It's getting dark. It won't show very well anyway. So I guess in the meantime, yeah, I'm a little bummed about that. But I guess in the meantime, I'll go ahead and get this up and get this wrapped. Weather's coming in. And I'll catch y'all back in this video when I can get that adapter. See you then. Okay, so a few days have passed and we finally got the part to the mini split that is an adapter that I could run off of the vacuum line and everything. So it finally came in. So now we can get down to business. And I have to hook somewhere. That'll be fine there. So I've already got this line open. I'm going to go ahead and set the vac, get that running. Normally you want to get it down to 500 microns, but when it gets to 500, I'm actually going to let it go on a little bit further until it pretty much can't vac out anymore. Which, from my understanding, the more the line is vac, the better it'll be. So I'm just going to let it run. And while that's doing a thing, I'm going to go ahead and wire up the system. So that'll be good and out of the way, and hopefully by the time I get done with all of that, we should be ready to do something with this line set. Maybe load it up and call it a day. So let me go ahead and get this thing started, and we'll see what happens. Okay, it's counting down now. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, so if y'all can hear me, we just tripped to 500 microns. We're gonna let it run for a while longer, and hopefully we get it to at least to about maybe 300 before I add a little bit of pressure back into it. Yeah, so we've made it that far. As you can see, we're all wired in. Just waiting to get this part done, and then we can just do a pressure test, and hopefully we don't have any leaks. So some more time has passed, and as you can see, we've made it down to 240. It hasn't moved in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the blue valve off, and then go ahead and shut the pump down, and then we'll let it sit for about an hour just to see what happens. And hopefully we have no leaks, and if there are no leaks, we'll move on to pressurizing this thing. Alright, we'll be back in about an hour or so. Okay, so good news and bad news, or bad news and good news. Bad news is the moment I turned the valve off and then turned the vacuum off, it immediately started rising. And thankfully, I believe I found that it's not the line set that's the issue, thankfully. So I guess all that adhesive or whatever is doing its job, and nothing's going on around those flares. I ended up having to tighten up the fittings here. Were very loose, and the moment I did that, that stopped dropping, or rising rather. So what I'm going to end up doing now is just going to go ahead and repeat the process and back the whole thing again and just let it sit. So I'll be back when all of that's done. So here we are. 2 nights have passed since I was out there fiddling around with that vacuum. I would get it pressurized or unpressurized. Vac and clean the line out, vac the line. And as soon as I go to turn the valve off, shut the vacuum down, pressure would rise back up. Past couple days I've been trying to find out where in the world is that leak. Could it have been on the flares? I went ahead and redone all of those. Wasn't the problem. I believe y'all had seen where I said I had tightened up the connections to everything around the valve stem, and it seemed to help a little bit. But still, every time I go turn it off, more pressure would go back into the system. Finally, I realized that it was the gauge. The hoses were no good. So I went and bought a new set, tried those out, and I started getting the vacuum down. Great, it was holding. The only problem is, then my pump, my vacuum, decided it wasn't going to go down like it had been doing. It had been getting around 260 to 230 microns before I was, before I got a new gauge line set. Sorry guys, I'm tired. I can't seem to think straight, but after I did all that, then the vacuum pump didn't want to do a thing. I really didn't have much time and effort to put back into another vac, but I was able to get it down to the 500 microns. And it held. I waited an hour and it held. It stayed exactly at 500 microns the entire time. Through all my frustration and everything, I could have brought y'all along. I really just wanted to get it done at that point. So that part is done. I opened up all the valves. Coolant's flowing through now. It's in, it's done. What I haven't done yet is turn this breaker on to see if this thing starts to beep, to see if we're in business and this thing decides to turn on. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to bring y'all along with that. So hopefully I haven't made any more mistakes or nothing worse happens at this point. Hopefully we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this breaker, and together we're going to see what happens. Cross your fingers. And how about that? We have power. Is it too early to celebrate? Let me see what mood I can put this thing on. I guess it's currently, let's see, cool, dry, heat. It is currently, what degrees in here? 75. Let's just put it on 72 and see if we can get the AC to turn on. Fan just kicked on. It's pretty quiet. I don't even know if the compressor outside is turned on yet or not. It means that it's still kind of cool outside. I really don't know what to expect. The air is blowing. I think I need to polish off the face cover of this unit. It has a lot of my fingerprints on it. Oh, that's coming out nice and cool. It's got a nice chill to it. Ooh, that feels really good. That's nice. And I'm sorry to clear my throat a lot. The night air is really bothering me. Season's changing, allergies are kicking in something fierce. That's nice. That's really nice. That's going to be good. I like that. I really don't know how cold or how hot it's going to get tonight, but I think I'm going to switch this back to heating a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to run outside right quick and see if see how the unit looks outside. I'll be right back. It's dark. I'll be back. So, wow, that thing is whisper quiet. I didn't know that thing would be so, oh shoot, sorry. I didn't know that thing would be so quiet. I thought it would sound like any other heat pump outside. It's just mostly like, it's you can't hear it unless you're right up on the thing. I was beginning to wonder if it had even started because when I went out there, I didn't hear it. And like I said, I had to be right up next to the thing before I could hear it. So I'm really proud of that. It's done. Oh my God, after this past couple of days of frustrations, this is done. Oh, and I did switch gears a little bit, and I went ahead and installed a ceiling fan. I had to, just to get, tell you what, let you see. Yeah, ceiling fan. And it works. And let me do a quick little, hey, it does a thing. All right, turn it back off. So yeah, I went ahead and did that. I had to get off of this project for a minute, clear my head. It was really getting to me, guys. It was really getting to me. But realizing I made no mistakes with the line set. Thankfully, there were no leaks in that line set. So, we know that's straight. We're straight down here. This should hopefully last me some years to come. So, I'm going to end this here. In the next couple of days, I'll be coming in to do some baseboards and trim. And get these doors situated real good. And install a TV. And I think that's it. So we've really gotten a long way. And it took a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought I was going to be able to zip through it pretty fast. And as you can see, it just didn't happen that way. But a lot of y'all probably knew that I wouldn't be able to get it done within a 2-month time frame. But it's a lot of progress. That's going to be it. I will see y'all in the next one. Appreciate y'all sticking around for this, and yeah, got to see my failures and my accomplishments. So I'll see y'all in the next one.